Blunceville and Vincent. If you're in any of these communities, be in a safe place right now. Let's look at the line down in Clay County, farther to the southeast. We've been focusing on these areas with potential for tornadoes. And again, that's a pretty good looking rotation right there. This is in Cusa County, that is north of Rockford and south of Goodwater, and we're going to keep an eye on that. And let's take off the data and let's look at polygons for just a moment. Sometimes when you have multiple tornado warnings in effect, there's no warning for Clay, no warning at all. We've got a tornado warning for parts of Cusa County, which is ours right here, for that circulation. This does not include Alexander City or Dadeville, but it does include Rockford and Goodwater and Point South. So again, for Cusa County, there's a tornado warning for the southeastern half of the county. I want to point that out. Let's go farther north. We'll take a look at these polygons again. We've got the tornado warning that's in effect for Shelby County, and this is for the rotation that is coming out of the Shelby County Airport region back up toward Vincent and Harpersville right here, and we've got the other tornado warning that's in effect over here for a storm that is along I-20, and I think out of all of the storms, the most dangerous one is this one that is pretty close to Interstate 20, pretty close to, I'd say, the maybe the Embry Crossroads exit on Interstate 20. So let's look at that. We'll put the radar data back on here. This is a TVS, a tornado vortex signature. That's the triangle we see here, and that is a storm that is all of these storms are dangerous. And by the way, I should mention, in a lot of the images that you're seeing debris that people are shooting. You're getting stuff from Tuscaloosa found as far away as Gadsden now. We're getting reports of objects from Tuscaloosa, receipts and check stubs and things like that being found in Etowah County, 115 miles away. Absolutely amazing. All right, but this is our storm that is very wrapped up, and we have a possible tornado crossing the interstate right now, awfully close to the super speedway. And again, that's moving northeast, and of course that's going to take it, this is Bynum, that'll be crossing the Aniston Army Depot region, then curving back over into the region around Aniston and Oxford. So, you know, for much of the evening we have had no issues for Aniston and Oxford, but now we've got a possible tornado coming right in toward the Aniston metro area here. This is Oxford, this is Aniston. So again, this is a dangerous storm that is in northern Talladega County along Interstate 20, very close to the Alabama 77 exit. That's the Lincoln Talladega exit, and that will continue moving to the northeast, and that's going to take it in the general direction of Aniston. So again, this is a tornado warning for northern Talladega. This is all north of Talladega and parts of Calhoun counties, and this could affect easily Aniston and Oxford. So we want to point out that that's a very dangerous storm. We've got the storm up in Coleman County. Jason, let's kind of run through that one for our friends up north on the dry line.
We got a report of another tornado that was east of Hanceville, moving northeast at 75 miles per hour. That was local law enforcement in Coleman County reporting that. So we had the initial tornado, which was on the western side of the county, and we mentioned this little spin-up shower here that's south of Holly Pond. According to Hanceville Police or Coleman County Sheriff, not sure which law enforcement that came from, but a possible tornado near the Mulberry River between Blunceville and Holly Pond that's moving northeast very fast. There is no time to even think about something other than going to a safe place in Holly Pond, Blunceville, Rock Springs, Rough Edge, Union Grove. There goes Birmingham, triggering the warning for that as well. So a tornado on the ground near the Mulberry River east of Hanceville, moving northeast, Blunceville, Rainbow Crossing, Holly Pond, Rough Edge, Union Grove. You need to be in a safe place. There has been significant damage in this area already, so call folks. If you can get in touch with them, let them know that you have another tornado on the ground that's moving in that part of Coleman and Blount counties. On the western side of Coleman County, we have a more significant looking storm based on the radar presentation. A significant hook echo, possible tornado west of Coleman, moving right toward the city yet again. So a hail core on Highway 78 or Highway 278 near Jones Chapel. Possible tornado on the ground on the northern fringe of Smith Lake, just northwest of Smith Lake Park. That will affect the city of Coleman yet again. So another tornado is likely headed into Coleman. Another one just on the east side of Holly Pond and Blunceville. James?
Okay, late note from Alabama Power Company, 375,000 customers are without power. In the Birmingham Metro, 173,000. That is why we are asking you to call anybody that you might know, if we call out a certain community that's in the path of a tornado, give them a call on a cell phone, a landline. Just try, because so many people are without power. Again, statewide, 375,000 people. And many people have been without power since this morning when the storms came through. Keep in mind, we started this coverage early this morning, and they've been without all day. So we are still in the midst of a serious, deadly tornado outbreak. At least 25 people have been killed, many more injured. A lot of fatalities are coming from Tuscaloosa. Now, 3 in Tuscaloosa. That's the latest number I've seen. 3 fatalities in Tuscaloosa, many in the Pleasant Grove community in the western part of the Birmingham metro. And again, we still have ongoing violent weather in progress. Quickly, let's check the storm down here near Linden. Again, this is the Montgomery market, but there are many that watch us in Marengo County. And again, I just wanted to point out that we have potential for a violent tornado at Linden that's moving to the east-northeast. That'll be crossing Highway 25 around Dayton. So again, if you're in Linden, Dayton, Fawnsdale, be in a safe place. Let's work our way north. Let's start with the Shelby County storm. In the good, encouraging news here, we have not heard of any specific damage reports out of Shelby County with either of these storms as they have come through. But again, this is the storm that prompted the Weather Service to evacuate their office, and it's clearly wrapped up. There's no doubt that this storm is in circulation. This is Alabama Highway 25. That's U.S. Highway 280. Possible circulation approaching Harpersville. And again, the tornado impact number is very high, to 9.1. So even though we have not had reports of damage, we encourage everybody to take this seriously. We encourage people in Harpersville, Vincent, Calcis to be in a safe place as far south as Wilsonville. And also that includes the Gaston Steam Plant of Alabama Power Company. We encourage the power company to go through their safety plan, which they have in place there. And again, that will be ultimately crossing the Cusa River over into Talladega County. So that's the circulation we have here in Shelby. Let's go up to our circulation near Lincoln, and this is the one that's approaching Aniston and Oxford. For many people in East Alabama, you've been watching us all day long, wondering when will the stuff get here. Well, it's here. Of course, we had one very violent storm that went right across Piedmont and Goshen and Spring Garden. But again, this thing is all wrapped up, and it's in the process of approaching Aniston and Oxford. So we'll take a closer look at this, and I'm encouraging everybody at the Aniston Army Depot, Sachs, Aniston, Linlock, Weaver, Oxford, Quintard Mall. All of those places need to go through your tornado plan now. And again, if you're new to the area, that should be a small room on the lowest floor near the center, away from windows. Car, the worst place to be. Mobile home, worst place to be. You've got to be in a site-built structure and ride this thing out. They're moving very rapidly. The storm motion is at approximately 50 to 60 miles per hour, so this will be east of Aniston pretty soon. But again, this is the split right here. That's 21 going up to Jacksonville. That's 431 going up to Alexandria. There's downtown Aniston, and we've got a tower cam. And let me ask you this, back in the back, Monroe, do we have access to the Blue Mountain tower cam that overlooks Aniston? And that is out. Okay, again, we have a lot of infrastructure issues. Okay, it's not visible, which means that, okay, so we do have it. It's just gray, right? Okay, thank you, Vic. So as soon as this rain gets off of that camera, Vic, I want you to kind of keep an eye on that for me, or Jason can do this. And once we get the rain shaft off the Blue Mountain camera, we've got a great shot at this thing coming right into Aniston. So again, we're going to monitor the sky cam that is on Blue Mountain, and that'll give us an amazing shot of this. And this is a storm that is extremely dangerous, approaching Aniston and Oxford. And we encourage everybody that's in southern Calhoun County around Aniston to be in a safe place. The possible tornadic circulation is basically right over the Aniston Army Depot right now, continuing to move to the northeast. I'd say the greatest risk will be north of Oxford. Oxford is down here along the interstate, so but still it is close enough to where those of you in Oxford need to be in a safe place, but certainly Aniston and points north. Up here you've got communities like Weaver, Linlock, and Sachs. Look at this thing all wrapped up, and that's moving steadily to the east-northeast, and it's going to go right over these northern suburbs of Aniston. So let's just take that camera, if we can, maybe in the secondary box. And I forget it's dark outside. You know, we've been here so long.
We've been here a long time.
It's been.
We were here before it got light.
That's right. You know, it's just like it never stops. We're going to watch for power flashes on that camera. Again, this is the Blue Mountain Sky Cam in Aniston. And at night, longtime viewers know that we watch for the power flashes. And technically, it's not transformers exploding. It's fuse boxes or breakers exploding that the power company has in place to protect their system. And that's when, of course, the power goes out. We've seen many of those things. We saw those this morning when the line came through Birmingham. We saw the power flashes with the straight line winds and the tornadoes that came through. So it's been a long day of this stuff. But again, so far, we don't see anything specific. And I'm not so sure that that is overlooking Aniston. What we want to do is position that to be looking over Aniston, or maybe a little north of Aniston, over toward Coldwater Mountain. You know, it is so hard looking at that shot where it is. But I'll tell you one thing, it is awfully windy up there, Jason. You see how the thing is shaking. Let's zoom it all the way out and pan it to the right. And again, the way it works, longtime viewers know, with the old tower cams, they have control over in the newsroom. With the new sky cams, we have control here in the office. The sky cam network was built as a result of the Tuscaloosa tornado in 2000, which we caught the tornado. But again, clearly, this is a very, very dangerous storm coming right into Aniston. So again, like I say, Oxford, I still want you in a safe place. If you live in Oxford, you want to be in a safe place. Certainly Aniston, certainly Sachs, Weaver, Linlock, the old Fort McClellan property right here. Now, Jacksonville, this is going to be south of you. You might have some hail going on here, and you might see some debris falling, but clearly that is a significant tornado potentially approaching downtown Aniston or perhaps the northern suburbs. And we encourage everybody to stay in your safe place. This is racing rapidly. Keep in mind, these things don't stop at traffic lights. They just keep on going. And this will be ultimately affecting the Highway 9 corridor around White Plains. So for those of you that are on the Highway 9 corridor, we encourage you to be in a safe place. And again, Jason, this is one that always makes you nervous because it is coming into a very densely populated area right now.
Right, but so far we have not heard of any damage reports in Calhoun County. It's passed just north of Bynum. It's passing into the city of Aniston on the west side right now. It's just north of the Albert P. Brewer Parkway, coming across the area just to the southwest of Sachs. So if you're in Sachs, Aniston, Weaver, even Oxford, you still need to be in that safe place. As James mentioned, Quintard Mall, there you're looking toward right the middle of downtown Aniston. You see Quintard, that's the McDonald's that sits on Quintard close to Aniston High School right there in the middle of the screen. So let's take from that perspective and zoom straight out. From where we are now, we know exactly what we're looking at. So you're looking right downtown Aniston. So over that mountain is where the possible tornado would be. So let's leave it right. Well, don't go too far. We're looking too far south. You're looking toward Oxford, and you get the darkness there from the other slope of the mountain. The darkness in the middle of the screen, it's hard to tell a bit of a difference there, but that's Coldwater. The lights in the middle are from the city of Aniston downtown, and we're looking straight at where a possible tornado would be from that tower cam. I don't see any power flashes. Looks like the lights are still on in Aniston, but there is still a very strong indication on radar that a tornado could be on the ground in Calhoun County. And if it is, we want you to be safe. So go to that lowest floor of your home. Stay away from the windows. The basement, a good place to be. If you can't get to a basement, just the lowest part of the house in the middle, the most walls between you and the outside that you can possibly get. That's where you want to be.
All right, and tell you what, let's go back and put the MacBook Pro in the office back in the other box. The images from our viewers, and boy, that was our air signal. If you missed it, we caught that Tuscaloosa tornado coming across town. Somebody grabbed that off their iPhone watching our online coverage, but goodness. And the debris that is falling from the sky is stunning. We're finding clothes and personal items from people in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham in various parts of the state tonight. So again, it is just enhances the tragedy that we have had today. And again, the loss of life, I don't know how many people have died, at least 25. We know that. That's been confirmed, and more than likely that number will go higher. So Jason is monitoring the Blue Mountain tower cam, and again, that circulation is about to come right over that spot. If there's something there, we will know it. The good news, we have not had any reports of damage along this track that's been running from near Lincoln back to near Aniston with this particular storm. We did get a lot of reports of damage around Ohatchee with the storm that went up up toward Goshen and Raglan. And again, that was the one that followed the track similar to the Palm Sunday tornado, March 27, 1994. That storm is long gone. That's in Georgia. But there are others. Let's look at this one here. This is the one that has been coming out of Shelby County. And this storm has prompted a tornado warning. And again, it's wrapped up. I mean, this is the tornado that's located near Harpersville. And this is moving over into Talladega County, and that'll be moving about like that. This is the city of Talladega. Right here, the tornado is near Harpersville. That is moving to the northeast, and that's going to make a beeline for downtown Talladega. Again, that is a very strong indication of a tornado near Vincent in Harpersville. That is Alabama Highway 25 and US 231. That's Highway 280. This is now moving north of Highway 280, and again, that'll be out here near Coosa Pines and the paper mill, and then ultimately crossing to a point pretty close to the city of Talladega. This might be clipping the far southern tip of Lake Logan Martin, around the Logan Martin Dam, or maybe just south of there, but it's going to be crossing the river. And again, that is a very tight circulation. So we have a tornado indicated on radar near the communities of Vincent and Harpersville, moving to the northeast in the general direction of the city of Talladega. So again, for Talladega, you have missed a number of these circulations, but I'm afraid this one is going to be very close to where you are. So we encourage everybody in the city of Talladega, as this approaches, to be in a safe place over the course of the next 30 minutes or so. That is a very well wrapped up storm you see right there. So that is the storm that's coming out of Shelby. So the two that we're really focusing on, the three, I should say, the one that's in Coleman. In fact, let's check that one, Jay. I'll let you work that one since that's your neck of the woods.
We have two different storms, and it looks like maybe a third one is developing.
Look at that one in Blount County.
Yeah, this one doesn't have a warning on it, but just like the one that produced the report of a tornado near Hanceville, that one near Nectar, which is in the southwest part of Blount County, that will cross between Aniana and Cleveland on Highway 231. In fact, if I were in Rosa, I'd be going through a tornado safety plan right now. Rosa to Susan Moore, Highway 75. You're not under a formal tornado warning, but a rapidly developing thunderstorm may drop a tornado at any time north of Highway 150 over toward U.S. Highway 231 and up toward Alabama Highway 75. There's another significant thunderstorm that is crossing over Coleman right now. The Hook Echo is on the southwest side of the city, and it is coming right into downtown again. So hail falling in parts of Vinemont, another possible tornado near downtown Coleman, and if that one's on the ground, it may be just a touch northwest of where the original tornado hit the city about 3 o'clock this afternoon. So what, about 7 hours ago, 6-7 hours ago, we had that major tornado there. Certainly looks like we may have a debris ball in that. So on the west side of Coleman, moving toward the northeast very quickly, there is a possible tornado that will cross through downtown and the northern part of the city, over Lake Catoma, over the Coleman Regional Medical Center, and then catch a ride on Highway 69 around Gold Ridge and Simcoe and Fairview yet again. So can't stress it enough. If you know folks who live northeast of Coleman on Highway 69, even as far to the southeast as Holly Pond, especially that northwest side of Holly Pond, up around New Hope and up the Holly Pond Fairview Road up toward if you're in the Holly Pond School District on that northwest side, this is a tornado warning for you. So a potential debris ball showing up over the city of Coleman right now. That means we might have yet another large tornado that's passing through that city at this moment. It's about to cross Lake Catoma near the Coleman Regional Medical Center and then move across Utaka Industries, crossing where Highway 69 and Highway 157 intersect, and then move right up there in the direction of Simcoe in the eastern part of the county. So Gold Ridge, Simcoe, Berlin, Holly Pond, Baylitz, and Fairview. You need to be in a safe place right now. A very strong thunderstorm with a possible tornado is moving northeast from the city of Coleman. Let's check in on that Blount County storm again, and this one actually looks like it might be just a touch stronger than the one that's west of Coleman. Here's a look at the velocity product, and again, we have a strong rotation near Cleveland and Easley moving toward Rosa. And that thing on the velocity actually looks more intense than the Coleman storm. So in Cleveland, Rosa, Hendricks, Friday's Crossing, Susan Moore, Royal, the southeast side of Bluntsville down around Fowler Springs, you need to be in a safe place right now. Same thing for North Aniana, up around the covered bridge on Highway 75.
They just canceled the warning for Blount.
Okay, well, that was for the previous storm, though. So
you're probably right.
Yeah, that was the previous storm. This one does not have a warning on it. I'm just saying, if I don't care if there's a warning, really. If there's a rotation there, it may drop a tornado. You just need to be in a safe place, regardless of whether there's a warning in place or not. That has neither here nor there on exactly what's going on. But there's a rotation that's near Cleveland that might produce a tornado. Wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and go through that tornado safety plan. Our storm that is passing through the Aniston area is a little bit weaker than it was based on the velocity couplet here. There is still some very strong rotation right over Alexandria and Weaver. This is now passing north of the city of Aniston. So if we can, let's take our tower cam and pan it around to the right. We should be able to see the intersection of US 431 and 21 that goes up from Sachs toward Jacksonville and Piedmont. So if we can take that tower cam from Aniston and pan that around to the right, as far to the right as it will go, we'll see if we can see anything with regard to power outages or anything like that. So circulation sitting over the northern end of Aniston. You're still looking toward downtown, but there goes the camera slowly to the right. We'll keep on going. Just take it till it gets to that stop point. You won't go too far. You can trust me on that. So we've got a possible tornado in the northern part of the Aniston area near the Pelham Heights, Weaver, Sachs, and that will come in just south of Jacksonville if it's on the ground. So if you're in the Jacksonville area, you need to be in a safe place. Weaver, the Alexandria-Jacksonville Highway area, White's Gap, White Plains, you need to be in a safe place too. Okay, so there is the intersection of Highway 431 and Alabama 21. Does not look like we have much of a power outage situation more than what we had earlier. So that may be some pretty good news. This may not be down on the ground. That'd be the best news of all. But while we have this kind of rotation and this kind of atmosphere on a historic day like we have had, you don't want to take it for granted that there might not be a tornado there. You want to treat almost everything as if there is. And James, check out Cusa County. Look at this rotation down here in northern Cusa County. That might be the most intense storm on the board right now.
Oh, wow. Goodness gracious. Are you kidding me? It's just like this stuff doesn't stop.
Well, technically it's in Elmore, but it's coming toward Cusa. Yeah.
This is Cusa County right here. This is Elmore County. That's, let's see, this is Alabama Highway 9. The community of Equality is right there. So, again, that is a really, really dangerous storm. This is north of Montgomery. And, again, that's moving to the northeast. And that's probably going to stay mainly in Tallapoosa and Elmore counties. This is Cusa County right here. But, again, that thing is, that's probably the most dangerous storm on the board right now. So an extremely dangerous storm that's located near Eclectic. And again, that's in Elmore County, north of Montgomery. So let's do a reset here. Let's just kind of take the whole map full and let's show you where we are and what we've got. First off, the dry line. This represents the last of the storms right here. Winston, Marion, Fayette, Lamar, Pickens County. No more severe weather, all clear. But on the dry line, these storms are trying to spin up. Now, the Weather Service believes the storms on the dry line would not produce the violent tornadoes like the storms that we saw earlier today, but it doesn't matter. On a day like today, if you're under a tornado warning, please take that seriously. We've got a possible tornado touchdown near Linden. Reported that via Twitter. And again, that huge storm down here in Elmore County, that's the storm of the moment. But let's look at this one that's approaching the city of Talladega, Jason. This is a storm that is south of Interstate 20. You know, our storm came over Aniston, and normally if something is happening, Twitter and Facebook will light up like a Christmas tree, and I have not seen any reports of damage from Aniston. And you correct me if I'm wrong, if you've seen something. I have not.
Well, the Weather Service says that they've had multiple reports of damage in Calhoun County, but I don't know what kind of damage.
I think that's the storm that went north of Piedmont, maybe.
It could have been. You know, there's not a continuity with the statement there, so I'm not sure if it's the southern Calhoun or the northern Calhoun storm, but probably you're right, the northern Calhoun.
Right, but anyway, this is a very dangerous storm. Look, right there's your tornado back in the southwest flank of this thing. This is coming right toward downtown Talladega. Now, again, this is the home of the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind. We would encourage everybody there at the school to be sure everybody knows what's happening and get the students to a safe place. We encourage, again, this is Wednesday night, I think most churches are not holding services this evening. We've been doing this so long, I've seen so many cancellations going across the screen, but if by chance there is a church holding a service this evening, you've got to get people out of the sanctuary and into halls and corridors and bathrooms around that. But again, this is a very dangerous storm coming right for downtown Talladega. So if you're in the city of Talladega, you want to be in a safe place right now. No mobile homes, no cars. A car is the worst possible place to be. And again, that will be crossing through Talladega, maybe impacting the community of Munford here, which is up Highway 21 or something close to that. And ultimately, at some point, that might want to cross the interstate. Again, these are the polygon warnings we have in effect now. And again,
we've got Clay County added to this, as well as Randolph.
Yeah, Clay County has been added. This is within the last couple of moments. Okay, and again, I tell you what, for those of you, let's look at the radar again, and let's go back into this part of the state. The Weather Service has added Randolph and Clay. There's Wadley, and this is Wadowee, and this is Roanoke here. So we'll add the radar data back on here. And again, let's take the radar full screen. We'll lose the double box here for just a moment. All right, this is a large rain mass. There is clearly not the classic signature, but let's look at the velocity display now. Whenever you got a big messy rain mass like that, it would be hard to pick out rotations. So now let's check the velocity display. And again, you can see pockets of circulation. Ashland is here, Lineville is here. These communities are only about 5 miles apart. So Lineville, Ashland, potential for rotation just northeast of Lineville and just southwest of Ashland. So we will add to the roster of people that need to do things. If you were in Ashland or Lineville, we recommend that you go to a safe place. No, the signatures here are nothing like the ones we've seen north and south of there, but again, there's enough evidence of rotation for the Weather Service to go ahead and post a tornado warning. So we have a tornado warning that is in effect now for Clay County. And again, look at this thing down here. Just scroll, we'll go down a little bit, and I'll show you we'll go back to the velocity and look at the one down in Elmore County. I'll show you the difference in terms of what this thing looks like. Watch this right now. Yeah, unbelievable. That could be a really violent tornado. This is Tallapoosa, this is Cusa, and this is going to be affecting mainly Elmore and Tallapoosa. These counties belong to Montgomery. This is our county, and really that rotation is going to miss Cusa County just to the southeast. Emergency
Management just reported a tornado with that storm near Eclectic. And it's moving to the east, so it looks like it will stay south of Cusa County, but that southern edge of Tallapoosa County, you're going to have to watch out for this. I know a lot of folks are watching down in Tallapoosa, following us on Twitter and Facebook. So southern Tallapoosa County, northern Elmore County, tornado on the ground north of Eclectic, and that will eventually cross really the entire southern half of Tallapoosa County, probably just a touch south of Dadeville or maybe very near Dadeville and Jackson's Gap. And again, that's probably the most intense storm that we have out there at this moment, James.
All right, and we're going to double box this. In the other box, you've got damage from Coleman. We have damage in so many places. And understand this morning, we had a thunderstorm complex that produced widespread damage. That was at 4, 5, 6 o'clock this morning, and now the tornado damage on top of that. This is downtown Coleman, hit very hard by a tornado. And if you watched our live coverage, we caught it live. We will come in later tonight and show some of the images, the video of the multiple tornadoes we've caught today on these sky cams, but that one we saw, that was the first tornado of the day this afternoon coming into downtown Coleman. It was remarkable. In fact, there's a look at that, and boy, that thing got bigger and bigger and bigger as it went right into downtown Coleman. So that's what that looked like from our Coleman sky cam this afternoon. And of course, the Tuscaloosa video was just beyond dramatic. It was riveting and heartbreaking at the same time. You know, when you see that, you know that there's a high chance you're going to have people hurt and there's going to be loss of life. And all you can do is tell people to go to a safe place and just, you know, pray for the best. So, again, that was the situation in Coleman this afternoon. That was when we started the afternoon session of coverage about 2 o'clock, as I recall, 2 to 2:30, something like that. But, again, let's go back to our Talladega storm. There's a TVS, a tornado vortex signature here. And this is the in our part of the world, our television market, this perhaps is the most dangerous storm on the board. Does it exhibit the same characteristics as the storms earlier today? No, but it doesn't matter. Even if there's an EF0 or an EF1 tornado, that's a big deal. It can be a direct threat to life and property. So again, we encourage everybody in the city of Talladega to be in a safe place as that possible tornado goes right over the city. That's Alabama Highway 21 that goes up to Munford and Oxford. This rotation will be pretty much hugging that highway as it heads down the stretch toward Oxford. So again, this is a tornado warning for northern Talladega County with the possibility of a tornado that will impact the city of Talladega and maybe affecting Munford and ultimately the Interstate 20 corridor up toward Aniston and Oxford.
The only report of damage that's coming from that storm that's moving toward Talladega is a report that some power lines were knocked out by a tornado near Wilsonville at 8:08 p.m. So 20 minutes ago, while it was still in Shelby County, and it looked a lot more impressive then, too, near Wilsonville.
Weather Service says look between Jacksonville and Piedmont. Let's go up to northern Calhoun. This is another storm in that region that the Weather Service believes this could be producing a violent tornado right now.
Sure looks like it's ramped up again.